Alright everyone, welcome back to episode 13 of the Forza Horizon Let's Play. We're getting really close to being able to finish up this game, and I felt like today I'm going to start off by buying a bunch of new cars that we can use in events. And let's start off with this bad boy right here. I cannot wait to drive this thing. I think orange is a good... yeah, let's go with orange. Next up, I'm feeling like getting Porsche, but obviously they're not in this game, so I guess roof is the next closest thing. That's a tough decision, but I really like the way their GT8 drives. So I'm gonna go with that. Alright, now I don't want to spend all of my money meaties here. Let's just go do an event real quick. This one's real close, let's start with that one. So we got a whole lot of brand new cars that were revealed this week, and some really interesting ideas. So let's start off by probably the most exciting of them all. The all-new Lamborghini Countach. So yeah, in case you've been out of the loop, Lamborghini has been teasing what is a spiritual successor to the original Countach. And they fully revealed it just the other day, and I must say, it's been a while since I saw a Lamborghini that I felt looks this good. I'm especially a fan of the front end design. I think it really harks back to the old Countach and pays respect to it. You know, the rear, I'm a fan of it, but I don't think it's quite as Countach-like as I would have liked. It has the same shape around like the rear taillight housing and stuff like that, but in terms of the taillight design, it just reminds me a little too much of the cyan or the cyan or however you pronounce that crazy looking thing that I'm not a huge fan of. But anyways, it is a 803 horsepower hybrid V12 powered beast. I was really hoping that, you know, it's extremely unlikely, but I was really hoping to have a good old naturally aspirated V12 manual transmission monster like the original. But of course, you know, these days that's not very realistic. But still, the car I guarantee will be very impressive. I think it's limited to around 115 cars worldwide, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that is really not that many cars. And it's probably only going to be bought by select billionaires, and I'm sure they are already all sold out. But nonetheless, even if, you know, I'll never see one in person, it's damn near cool idea to think that the Countach nameplate is back. Now, speaking of old names that might be coming back, Acura revealed the NSX Type S, but to me, that's not the most exciting part of that showcase. What I got super excited over is that Acura has confirmed that the Integra is coming back. Yes, we are getting an Integra. Now, they haven't really said much about the new Integra. They just showed off this really interesting little teaser image, and it said that they're going to show more in spring of 2022. So it's going to be a while before we see more information on it. But I got super nostalgic over that image, seeing that little Integra logo under the headlight. If you didn't know, my first car ever was a 1995 Integra, and I love that thing. It was a great car. I actually ended up getting in an accident with it, but I'll toss some pictures up on the screen. So I don't have very many pictures of this car, as it was my first car. I was like 17, you know, really didn't know how to take pictures of things very well. But I loved the car. You know, I did get in an accident with it and it was totaled, so unfortunately, you know, don't have it anymore, but I really, really loved that car. So after talking about my Integra, the new one, I'm going to do some speculation here, as I'm a huge Honda fanboy, and I'm just going to go off of what I think this Integra will be. So initially I thought that the new Integra was going to be a replacement for the ILX, which is a really outdated little sedan by now, but apparently it looks to actually be a coupe, as they had a little light show and they showed the silhouette of a coupe when they revealed the car. So that's really exciting to know that, you know, the coupe Integra nameplate will be coming back. But in terms of powertrain options, I have a feeling it's going to be the exact same as the current 2022 Civic, which will be the base model will be that old, the tried and true 2-liter K-Series engine. and then the 1.5 turbo, which has been proven to be very powerful, but not quite as reliable as the old K series was. I'm guessing that it will be offered in front-wheel drive only, and I'm really praying that they have a manual transmission option here. They know how much the Integra name means to people, and I think that they'll do it right, but I really hope this isn't like an automatic only, cash grab. I have faith in Honda. They tend to listen to enthusiasts. But all this news about the Integra got me thinking, and back to my first car, and I was just wondering, here's my question for you guys, is A, how many of you actually drive in real life, and B, what do you drive? And this got me thinking about my own personal cars, and I'll share a few of them here, because I've had a few people ask me, what cars have I owned? So I'm still relatively young, so I'm turning 20 tomorrow, actually, as I'm recording this video, but I have owned a whopping 5 cars already. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I'll talk about my first one and then the 2 most recent. So the 95 Integra, of course, I already showed you the red one. Loved that car, but crashed it and got it written off. Yay. And then a few cars after that, I ended up getting this 2013 Honda Accord V6 Coupe. This was the most interesting ownership experience I've ever had. It was a V6 manual coupe, and I absolutely loved it for about the first month. This was, funnily enough, the least reliable vehicle I have ever owned. It had tons of transmission issues and a bunch of stuff, and the car just was not worth keeping around for me. It was relatively high kilometer, but it was just, I was having to put so much money into the damn thing that while yes, it was fun and it was super quick for what it was, I mean, a low 5 second 0 to 60 time for a coupe like that is really not that bad. But I sold it and traded it in for what I'm currently driving right now. So right now, those of you who are in my Discord are very aware of this, but I have a beautiful green 2014 Ford Fiesta ST. I've had this car since January of this year, and I love it. It gave me some weird electrical issues at first that all just came down to a dying battery, but since I replaced that, the car has been absolutely mint so far. No issues with that, and I've had a ton of fun with it. It's definitely the best handling car I've owned by far. It's been so much fun. It's not super fast in a straight line, but no one expects it to be. It's a Fiesta. But in terms of, just the quality of the car, it's really so much nicer than you would expect for a little subcompact car like that. It's got leather Recaro seats, heated seats, ambient lighting and all that, so it's all fancy and stuff, but I love the car. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've already thrown some pictures up on screen already, but yeah, I absolutely love the ST. So again, yeah, comment and see, what do you guys drive? I'm really curious to know. Now, moving on from that, since I was talking about how the Integra was revealed at the NSX Type S reveal, let's talk about this said NSX Type S. So it's very limited production, only 350 cars worldwide, which if you think about it is only like 3 times more than that Countach, which is pretty crazy for an Acura. But it has a 600 horsepower, so a slight horsepower increase. They did a bunch of stuff to the car, including, taking the turbos off of the GT3 race car and just going, smack it onto the road car, it's fine. But in terms of the looks, most people seem to be really intrigued by the looks and thinks it looks good. But I don't know about you, just something about me. I do not like what they've done to the front end of the car at all. It just looks like it's melting in the front end. The rear looks amazing, but the front is like, oh, okay. That's a bit of an interesting design choice. But yeah, it has been a great week in supercars and hypercar news. We also had one of my personal favorites, the Aston Martin Valkyrie Spider. If you don't know what the original Aston Martin Valkyrie is, it is a 1,139 horsepower, just demon that is capable of well over 200 miles an hour. It is a downforce monster, designed by Adrian Newey. He's, I believe he used to be the Red Bull, chief Red Bull designer for their F1 cars. I don't know if he still is. I haven't been paying attention to Red Bull much recently, but man, he knows how to work some aerodynamic magic. And it's pretty obvious if you look at the damn thing. I mean, it looks insane. But the Spider version is capable of 205 miles an hour with the roof down, which is crazy. And then if you put the roof up, it gives you an extra 200, not an extra, but it gets you up to 217 miles an hour. A crazy number for sure. Now next up, I got a little shop story to tell you. So this one is not necessarily to do with the shop itself, but something that happened next to the shop. So this was, I believe it was a Friday morning. We normally open, especially when we're really busy, at about 7:30 in the morning. So this was just after 7:30. So it's still relatively dark outside and everyone's driving to get to work and all that. But we are, just opening, and I'm working on, I think someone they had a flat tire, I just need to put the spare tire on for them. So I was in the middle of that at the back of the car, getting the spare out of the car. And then on the intersection right beside of us, I just happened to glance over, and I see there's this F-150 and a Nissan Xterra that one of them runs the red light. I believe it was the F-150 ran the red light, and they just T-boned, and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, two cars going at, 60, 70 kilometers an hour, just right into each other. It was unbelievably loud. I remember, it's such a big impact. The F-150, it had to have gone, the rear of the truck went up at least 4 feet in the air. It was ridiculous, the impact. I didn't take any images of the accident, of course, just for privacy reasons, and obviously that's wrong. That's the police job, not mine. But that was a hell of an impact. But in terms of accidents, it's for those of you who've never been in an accident or around an accident, it's really hard to explain just how loud everything is. I mean, you're talking about machines that are thousands of pounds moving at, crazy speed, just kaboom right into each other. It'll make your ears ring, that's for damn sure. But moving on from the scary accident, I have news in terms of the channel. So I actually have ordered an Xbox Series S. I finally found one for, in stock at Best Buy Canada. I'm super excited to get it in and experience what Xbox's next gen console has to offer. I didn't opt for a Series X as it's more that I really need. I have a PlayStation 5 for 4K gaming and stuff like that, and a PC as well. So the Series S is really just going to be for the Xbox exclusives and improving some of the content creation on Xbox games. And I'll let you know in this video. I'll write a little title to let you know if the Series S has actually arrived yet. But so far I'm recording this gameplay still on my old VCR Xbox One. But I'm going to try and record the next episode on the Series S and just see if there's any, visual differences at all in terms of gameplay and all that. So guess we'll have to wait and see for that. Man, we're about halfway to the headline event. Jeez, we are getting really close to finishing this game. Now, before I end up this episode, I'm going to answer a question that I keep getting asked in the comments, and it's, are you going to do all the barn finds and showcases and all that? And my answer to that is yes. What I'm planning on doing is finishing the main story first, and then after that I'm going to have one final episode that is going to be just collecting all of the barn finds, tying up all of the loose ends that we have. And yeah, that's going to be good. That's going to happen as soon as I'm done the story. So, don't be worried. I'm of course going to cover them. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching episode 13 of the Horizon 1 Let's Play. If you've missed all the other episodes, they're linked in a playlist in my channel. And yeah, please let me know if you're enjoying the series, as we're almost done. And yeah, I will see you guys on episode 14. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.